Veteran. Guy just knew what he needed to do.
It's 5:30, so we'll call to order this meeting for Monday, November 18th, 2019. Carl, can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Remley,
Here.
Ronayne,
Here.
Lunsman,
Here.
Rife, Johnson,
Here.
Bunceness,
Here.
Olson,
Here.
Rux,
Here.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Here, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business will be to approve the minutes from last week's meeting. So moved. November 12th. Got a motion from Johnson. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second from Bunceness. Since someone's on the telephone, Carl, I'll have you do a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got an open forum attendee, Bob Bray, who's here to speak to us about drones. Bob, make your way up to the podium, and you can have the floor when you're situated.
Okay, thank you. My name is Bob Bray. I am a resident of Aberdeen. I'm a retired air traffic controller with the FAA, and I'm also a retired helicopter pilot for the hospital, emergency medical. I'm not speaking for the FAA, I'm speaking as a private citizen. But what I'm hoping to, I'm respectfully requesting that the council repeal the drone ordinance. Whether a motion or vote or whatever it takes to repeal that. I was looking on the FAA's website, and this shouldn't take too long. It says substantial safety issues are raised when local governments attempt to regulate the operation of aircraft. If one or two municipalities enacted ordinances regulating drones in navigable airspace, and significant number of municipalities followed suit, fractionalized control of navigable airspace could result. In turn, this patchwork quilt of differing restrictions could severely limit the flexibility of the FAA in controlling airspace and flight patterns, ensuring safety and an effective air traffic flow. Navigable airspace, free from inconsistent and local ordinances, is essential to maintain maintenance of a safe and sound air transportation system. And so I looked on this at the city ordinance, and it quotes a state law or statute, and that has been repealed already. And there's a new state Deal 50-15-2, and it says compliance with federal requirements exempt from this chapter. And I don't know what that means, but it says any operation of a drone in the state shall comply with all applicable Federal Aviation Administration requirements. And so, why the state law that the city quotes has been repealed, I don't know. But so that's all I have. Any questions?
Say, Bob, this ordinance predated me, and it was one that I didn't care for when it was being proposed. But while it was being proposed, the FAA was still in the process of creating their regulations, and so I think that's probably a pretty good explanation of why this ordinance lives on the books, is because it kind of predated the FAA's requirements. I would probably tend to agree with you that the FAA, and I'm a Part 107 holder, and I've taken the tests and requirements, and I know all about that kind of stuff. So I've done a fair amount of looking into it, and I can say that I would agree with you. The federal restrictions are probably sufficient. So I would recommend that we take action upon that.
Should not take action this evening, that has to be placed on the agenda.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Future date.
Yeah, I guess I would like to review the ordinance and have, council tell us the changes that have occurred, and if you want to come back, that would be great, and give your input. Let's take a look at it.
And I think that's a good suggestion, because you should also know that there are maps attached with that ordinance, and those maps are still applicable as far as no-fly zones surrounding the airport. And so even if, in fact, you want to amend the ordinance, I think there's some applicable areas that might be relevant to policy for the city.
May I be heard for a moment, Mayor?
Excuse me?
May I be heard for a moment, sir?
Please do.
I think what Mr. Bray has said is consistent with my understanding. And I think the mayor is right that we drafted this ordinance at a time where there was no federal provision in place. I think it would be helpful if we could, if the city attorney would be able to review whether or not what we have now is really a superfluous ordinance, and it may very well be that. But I don't think. I think we need someone with some expertise to assure us that this has now been fully regulated and adequately regulated, and then if so, we can either repeal or do the same thing that the state did, and that is incorporate by reference the federal restrictions.
Thank you, Rob. Al.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was March of 2016 when we took up this topic, and the relevant point of the day was the FAA's rule provided a 3-mile radius from the airport, and without the city taking action, about 90% of the city would have been blocked from any drone activity whatsoever. So the city council took action, in fact, to be a benefit and a boon to enthusiasts, people who did want to, with specific locations. Otherwise, it would have almost eliminated any possible spot for drone usage. So one of the important things when we take this up again would be to clarify, is that FAA rules still stand? And my understanding, it does still. So this will be, a useful, timely topic, but that's some of the background behind how things got to be where we are. Had the city council not stepped in and been proactive to do that, drone activity would have been nil. There wouldn't have been an opportunity except in the far outside edges opposite the airport.
Okay.
Thank
Bob,
you.
perhaps you could, before you leave, provide us with some contact information so we can keep you in the loop on this topic.
Sure.
And we could continue to rely on your expertise in the matter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item we've got is the consent calendar with routine city business. Possible approval for A, B, and C licenses, request for street trail use, and a lottery notice. Can I get a motion to pass the consent calendar items, please?
So moved. Second.
Got a motion from Olson and a second from Remley. Has anyone got any questions as it relates to these items? Otherwise, Carl, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Rux,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Remley,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye. Next, we'll move on, or motion carries. Next, we'll move on to new business, as I am personally conflicted with the first item, as well as Deputy Mayor Bunceness. We will take a motion to pass things over to Clint to oversee new business item A. Can I get a motion for Clint to discuss this issue?
Move for Councilman Rux to take authority for this item.
Second.
I've got a motion from Johnson and a second from Lunsman. Can I get a roll call vote for Clint to preside?
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Clint, the floor is yours on new business item A.
Okay, we have item 5A, possible rescission of the 2018 parking district assessment and refund of the taxes collected paid in 2019. This is for possible approval of resolution 191102. Ron, can we get an explanation on this, please?
Thank you. The 2018 special assessment under resolution number 18-11-01R created the revenues for the parking district and the parking facilities for the year 2019. It has been determined that the assessment did not meet the requirements of state law for assessments for parking facilities, and that the resolution approved in 2018 should be rescinded. Along with that rescission would include a refund of the taxes collected under the assessment and allowance for those who would like, as set forth in the resolution, to allow the parking district to retain the refund if they do not want it. So the administration is recommending approval of Resolution 1911-02R.
As a point of order, with 3 conflicted and only 4 of us being able to vote, would this motion still pass today?
By my count, we would have 5 for possible approval. Actually,
Okay.
6, I think, for possible approval. No, 5, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So we should be
Okay,
fine.
we're good.
Yeah.
So, can I get a motion on this resolution?
Move to approve.
Second. Motion by Johnson, second by Remley. Can I get a roll call, please, Carl?
Councilmember Olson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Abstain.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Abstain?
Lunsman,
Aye.
Remley,
Aye.
Presiding Officer Rux,
Aye.
and Mayor Shoneman.
Abstain.
Okay.
So you can.
And now with that being done, motion passes. Do we
So-
need to have another motion to send
Nope,
things
that
back?
should be
Nope.
it.
All right, we're good.
Next new business item to discuss is the hearing on the retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine license for A Levity Entertainment LLC at 130 South Centennial Street. Possible approval of the retail on-off sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm wine license for A Levity Entertainment at 130 South Centennial Street, contingent on the city issuing a certificate of occupancy to A Levity Entertainment LLC. Can I get a motion for the approval of that?
Move to
beverage
approve.
license?
Second.
Does anyone have anything to discuss as it relates to this issue before we do a roll call vote? Otherwise, I've got a motion from Remley and a second from Olson. Carl, can I get a roll call vote on this issue, please?
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got recommendation on the 2020 water treatment chemicals, possible approval to award the chemical bid as recommended by the Water Treatment Department and authorize the city manager and finance officer to sign necessary documents after the approval of the city attorney. Bob, tell us about that treatment chemicals, please.
Yes, we opened our bids and we had some pretty good competition. We're waiting to determine one of our powdered activated carbons as we do a performance review, so we don't always go with the lowest price. We go with the one that performs the best at the best price point. So
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion from Remley and a second from Bunceness. Does anyone have any questions for Bob before we vote on this issue? Otherwise, Carl, take a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Rux,
Aye.
Olson,
Aye.
Bunceness,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Remley,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye. Motion does carry. Next, we've got the purchase of a John Deere 3046R compact utility tractor from RDO Equipment. Possible approval to purchase the utility tractor from RDO in the amount of $79,33 for the Public Works Traffic Control Department. I'm going to do the dollar amount one more time, $41,879.33. Robin, tell us about the tractor, please.
Okay, we have been using for this particular unit, it's been more of a garden tractor type of unit, and we push it pretty hard during the winter, and it's starting to get to the point where we're doing a lot more repairs on it than we are work with it. And so we are looking at purchasing this type of equipment. It's a step up or two from what we're currently using. It's, I think I may have called it a subcompact, but it's a compact utility tractor, which is a notch above the subcompacts. And as you can see, it's fairly expensive, but we're trying to obtain something that has a higher quality that we're not going to be working on so much and that may hold up for a little longer period of time. We're only getting a couple of years out of these as it works right now.
Move approval.
Move to approve.
Will one of you change your
I'll
motion to
second.
second? All right. So I've got a motion from Ronan and a second from Rux. Does anyone have any questions for Robin before we vote on this issue? Robin gets all the fun toys. Carl, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronan.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux.
Aye.
Mayor Shonman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got a change order number 2 and pay estimate number 3 for the 281 water main loop construction. Possible approval of change order number 2 in the amount of $10,299.50, and the pay estimate in number 3 in the amount of $120,749.29 to B&B Contracting for the work on the 281 water main loop construction project. Can I get a motion to
Moved.
Second.
a motion from Munson, a second from Johnson. Robin, tell us a little bit about those.
Well, the change order primarily is due to adjustments we had to make in the field for the work that was done on that water main project. And then the remainder of it is our payout for the contractor. It's the change order stuff plus the retainage that we typically hold in these projects. So we're recommending the $120,000 payment to the contractor as well as the approval of the change order.
We've got a motion from Munson and a second from Johnson. Carl, can I get a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Rux.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Ronan.
Aye.
Remley.
Aye.
Mayor Shonman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got the bills to set for approval for the week of November 18th, 2019. In addition to the ones that we see listed on the screen, we've also got an additional one for Northwestern Energy for the amount of $5,749.24. Can I get a motion to pay the bills, please?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion from Rux and a second from Remley. Does anyone have any questions about these bills or any discussion points? Otherwise, Carl, give me a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Remley.
Aye.
Ronan.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Bunceness.
Abstain.
Olson.
Aye.
Rux.
Aye.
Mayor Shonman.
Aye, motion does carry. We'll pay those bills. Next, we've got the city manager's report. Lynn, what have you got for us today?
I have no report this evening.
No report. Does anyone have any other items to speak about before we adjourn? And you'll be doing a little bit of homework on federal aviation.
Here will be, just to run you past that, I'll need to pull all that stuff up again and get up to speed, but I would like to plan to get something to the council by the end of the year, so hopefully sometime in December we'll have a comprehensive review on that and be able to talk to you about that.
Sounds good. Can I get a motion for adjournment, please?
Moved.
Second.
A motion from Munson and a second from Olson. Carl, give me a roll call vote to adjourn.
Councilmember Rux.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Bunceness. Johnson.
Aye.
Lunsman.
Aye.
Ronan.
Aye.
Remley.
Aye.
Mayor Shonman.
Aye, motion carries and we are adjourned. Thank you.
Smooth.